What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Novel Reptiles YouTube channel. I appreciate everybody for being here. I've really talked this one up a lot this week, and that's really for good reason. I think I said it down in the description. You guys may or may not have read it, but seriously, when I met Jose for the first time in Arlington, it was like we're in a huge convention center, and he lit up the room. He came over and was just like bouncing off the walls, just talking to everybody. Everybody knows Jose, and I'm like, man, who is this guy? He literally just was happy to be there, and just his excitement is literally just contagious. So, like I said, I'm just really happy to introduce him to you guys. He's a really kind of a, I don't know, I guess a gem of the hobby in my mind. So I'm not gonna keep him waiting any longer. Let's go ahead and bring him in, and we'll see what he's got going on over there. What's up, Jose? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, thank you. I'm gonna do a challenge at the same time, and talk at the same time. So I'm on my other iPhone over there to see what people have any questions about my life, how I become deaf, and things. So my name is Jose. I'm from Texas. I'm 20 minutes away from Arlington NARBC show. So let's get it on and have fun.
For sure. So, yeah, man. So, if you want to kind of give everybody a little background, tell them obviously, we met at the Arlington show, and you said you live about 20 minutes from there.
Yes.
Now, did you grow up in Texas? Are you originally from Texas, or did you guys move there?
I'm actually from North Carolina. I moved to Texas and back in the 90s. Maybe some reason because my dad jobs. So I miss North Carolina. I go every year. I met few breeder from North Carolina, including you.
Right.
And it's just that I wanted to meet more people. So you never know what's happening. So I am from
Yeah.
North Carolina.
What part? Remind me.
Uh, really Fort Bragg, North Carolina, but I was
Okay.
born in Chapel Hill.
Okay. That's not too far from me. So, Fort Bragg was you have parents in the military?
Yes, my father was.
Okay.
My mother was just a home mom. So my father was in Fort Bragg 7th Group of Special Force, been in the Army for a long time. So really, just it's up to my parents.
Okay. So you guys moved from there to Texas, and then you just kind of hung out and stayed. So what's the? I know there's a lot of breeders. Like we got John Feely down in the comments. Texas has a heck of a reptile community out there, man. Like I said at the beginning, it seemed like you kind of knew everybody at the Arlington show. I mean, I couldn't keep up with you for a second at the show.
You
I would blink my eyes, and you'd be all the way across the room talking to somebody else.
know, really, in our BC show was like a candy shopping. You know, I want to get used to people to know who they are because I
Yeah.
might buy animal from them in the future, which I did buy animal this year and last year and the past few years as an investment. So
Right.
really just love the animals and learn the genetic and learn the other things.
Okay. Now, how long have you been into reptiles?
This is my fourth year reptile. This is my second year breeding. I know how to raise my own animals. It's not really difficult to do anything right, but we all know how to learn the mistake.
Sure. Yeah, no, and that's a really good point, man. And we it seems like that's like a recurring thing that comes up on all these streams. Is talking about just the little mistakes and things, and just having transparency about that stuff, so that people can just keep learning how to do things better and better. But no, I mean, I love your point about just creating those relationships, because I think you and I are really on the same page. And I think that's what I liked about you when I first met you, like right away, was your uncanny ability to kind of build fast friends with people, and not in a way that's like oh, this guy wants something from me. Like you just were genuinely excited to meet everybody that you meet, and at least for me, like you made me smile just the first time I talked to you.
But
And like I said, I can't say that
yeah,
enough, man. You're just
yeah,
a
I
happy guy,
remember
and I
that.
appreciate that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that when I first met you, you were behind Lisa's table, for
Hmm.
throttle table. That's when I met Lisa and Craig and Tom Harbin, and then
Yep.
Paco was there, and all the other guys were there. But I didn't really get a chance to picture with you. I feel bad that time. So
Yeah. No, that's all
it's
right,
just
man.
like I
It's
was like everywhere. I was like running like a mouse. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Every time I blinked my eyes, you were like at somebody else's table or talking to somebody else. So no, it's all good, man. It gives me another excuse to make my way out to Texas, or if you next time you're out here in North Carolina, let me know for sure. So let's kind of get into what you got going on in terms of your ball pythons. I know that's kind of largely what I talk about on my channel, more than anything, and that's kind of what your whole collection is based around right now, right? You don't have anything else besides that, or do you?
well, right now I'm only breeding 15 female this year. So
Okay.
I'm gonna have to work my way up. I mean, I gotta start from the bottom. Um, I know
Sure.
that Elisa would try to make me tell the secret, but I'm not gonna say it because I'm not gonna get in trouble.
Yeah.
I have to learn the genetic myself because when I breed the animal, I have to know where it's coming from in the first place. Especially when you purchase the animal, you have to know when you pair up and write it down and know the gene in the future and keep a lot of female because you're gonna expand in more collection.
Right. Yeah, I know we were talking about that a little bit before the stream started, just kind of briefly about how, you know, you and I are kind of in a similar position in the sense that we don't have all the money in the world, right? To try to jump in and compete, if you will, with a lot of the big names in the industry, and just a lot of people that are more established. And so you and I are kind of on the same page in that we're okay with kind of playing that long game, so over time, in other words, and really, like you said, making your own heads and just slowly building your
Right,
collection up to a point,
right.
and by kind of, because I think your kind of take is, you've got some females that you work with, and again, without me getting into specifics of some of the stuff that you've got going on, I know you've got at least one pretty powerful male over there that you're
Yes,
making some hets with.
yes.
I know every time I talk about ultra male, you've always got something
It's like,
derogatory to say.
well, I wanted not to compare. You just gotta learn different animals. So
Yeah.
I know Lisa would try to convince me to say it, and I know you would say it, and anyone would try to say it. But
Right.
it's my own project.
Sure.
So somebody got that one right. The one on the bottom, Sean.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I wanted to challenge myself to them because there'll be so many competitive other breeders.
Sure.
So I have to start somewhere to make it to the higher level.
Yeah. And I think that's honestly, Jose, I think that's a really good project for you to be able to do that with. I
Yes,
mean, and that's why I like Ultramel for the same reason. I jumped into that because I saw it as an opportunity, like you, the way that you're working with Monarch. Like, hey, there are other people that are much bigger than me that are working with this, but they're not talking about it a lot, or they're not advertising it a lot, and they're not really pushing it out there. And there's not a whole ton of people. There are a good number of people working with Ultramel, but with Monarch especially, there still are not that many people working with it. It's still a pretty small
well,
group of you guys.
to me, the Monarch project is just rejected
Yeah,
gene. So
sure.
it takes a long time to get more rejected gene, especially with double head and triple head and four head. So it's really a long term project. Probably take you probably 10 years from now. Who knows if it's early game? So I have to charge myself either do it or don't do it, because
Right.
you will have to balance yourself with other projects to work with. So I think it's really hard for me. It is. So I love the
Sure.
project. It's a lot darker than Ultimo, but Ultimo is brighter. I'm sorry,
Right.
but I'm being
No,
honest.
no. Well, and I think
But
I think
it
they're
just
very different in
depend
a
on the
good way.
combo. It depend
Sure.
on what you pair up.
Right.
You might have dark gene, you might have light gene, you can have no gene. You never
Yeah.
know. And
Yeah.
so it's
And
just the
to be
battle.
clear, yeah, and to be clear for anybody that hasn't heard me say this, I do love the Monarch stuff. I didn't really know how I felt about it until I saw it in person at Arlington. Um, I think it was well, I know it was Tom Harmon that had one. I think it was a pastel Monarch male, and it was like a
Yes,
sub adult. So
he
I mean, it
did.
was probably around like that 800 to 1,000 gram mark. I think it was about a year to maybe 2 years old or so. So it had some size on it. I mean, it was a beautiful animal. It was definitely very different from Ultramelon. I think everybody's aware of that. But yeah, I was pretty sold on the project when I saw it on Tom's table, which that's not a big surprise. Tom has some pretty amazing animals.
We'll start the mono project to 2022 at the end of the season. I'm
Hmm.
still trying to get him to feeding right now to size him up a little more so he
Yeah,
can be prepared to the end of the season. So
tell him I said hey, Alyssa and War Eagle.
I see people commenting on them. Anyway, so I enjoyed
No,
doing
you're
this,
fine.
but he's not used to it the first time. So anyway,
All good, man. No worries.
I like the Monarch project because it's not many people working with it yet, like you
Yeah.
just said. So I kind of took another level to it for the future. So there's there's a Monarch project that come from UK. The
Hmm.
UK is already ahead of US. I don't know if I'm wrong or right, but
I think
they're
you're right in a
ahead,
lot of
and
ways.
I think they're ahead of us. I
Hmm.
mean, like, wow. So when I saw that, I'm thinking maybe I can do my own project, take it to another level, and be yourself, because you will make people proud how you challenge other, and then some people will say, "Nah, let's not talk about it." You know,
Yeah.
they talk about Virgin.
Hmm. No, that makes sense. Yeah, John's getting into Monarch. Octavia, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for representing. I can always count on Octavia. I see Octavio's his even his image for YouTube is orange.
So let's get to the background of how I became deaf.
Sure.
Uh, really want to expand it more about
Yeah,
my life.
for
So
sure.
back in 1990, no, 1990, 1988, I was born in Chapel Hill, North Carolina.
Hmm.
I was born premature in April. I was supposed to be born in June or July, but I was born early. I
Okay.
was on ICU for a long time. The doctors prescribed me some antibiotic to cause me to become deaf,
Oh
but
wow.
not completely deep deaf, but to cause my eardrum damage.
Okay.
So when I was 5 or 6 years old, went to start Project Elementary Deaf School, which is in Denton, about 45 minutes from here.
Hmm.
I took speech therapy to learn how to talk. Took me a long time to do speech therapy. We did a
Yeah.
lot of practice, I did a lot of work for my parents. My parents sometimes see me as a normal child, which I am normal, but the only thing that's different that I have hearing aid back in the time.
Right.
So I think I told you through Instagram that I have cochlear implant.
Hmm.
I started that on November last year,
Yep.
2020.
Yeah, I remember you told me when you were getting ready to
I
go in for that.
yeah, I did. Took the risk because I wanted to hear better,
Now,
especially with communicating with other people.
sure. Do you mind if I interrupt you just to ask because I'm completely ignorant to this. So, what are some of the risks involved with that?
The surgery, the
Hmm.
surgery with the risk, the side effect with the risk because of the blood vessel and other thing inside your body
Okay.
behind your brain issue. There's a bunch of risks that people think they can't hear, but
Hmm.
it's the process to your brain. So your brain needs to signal back and forth between few months or years or longer. It depends
Okay.
how your body is.
Right.
So I'm going to take it off and show you what it'll look like.
Sure.
This thing right here is the magnet. It connected to the back of your brain.
Okay.
So this one is already dying anyway, so I can still hear you.
Okay.
So that was the risk that I have to go through. Back in 1990, 2000, they had a surgery that opened behind your brain. It was like 4 inches long. Oh,
Yeah.
way past. So now, with the new technology, the new feature, the new everything, they also
Hmm.
open it behind the back of your ear. So I thought it was cool to do something different in my life. Um,
Yeah.
to be a leader, not the follower, because I've been seeing a lot of things happen. So I took it over it, got over it. So I'm gonna have a second surgery, maybe this year, end of this year for my left side.
Okay. Yeah, I
So
know. Like I said, I know we talked a lot, and leading up to that, which is kind of like where you and I became a little bit closer. When you were kind of going through that stuff, and I remember we were kind of keeping tabs. After your surgery, you were kind of keeping me posted, like every few days or every week, like just letting me know kind of how things were going, like. Because for those that don't know,
right.
it's not like you go and you have the surgery and then, okay, you can hear the next day. It's like you were saying before, you have to wait on your brain to kind of adjust to understand
Yes.
those signals. I know that you
Really?
said you were having a lot of headaches and stuff.
Really, honestly, it was just a headache. A
Yeah,
headache. I mean, bad. Because
yeah,
I'm not used to the sound that I used to have on my hearing aid.
sure.
That was the hardest part. Because I'm hearing things from outside, and I never heard somebody knocking. I
Yeah,
never heard anyone actually beep a horn 2 blocks away.
yeah,
I never heard of it. But with my
yeah,
hearing aid, it was just totally different. And I'm like,
right.
wow, feel like I can hear a mile away, but it's impossible how new technology developed.
Yeah,
So with this cochlear implant, I can use it as the Bluetooth. So I can
yeah,
connect it to an iPad or I can connect it to an iPhone and I can
right.
control the volume myself. So if I want to put mute, I can, but I'm not going to do that because I'm interviewing with you. So I'm just giving you an example of how the parts of cochlear implant.
Yeah. No, I'm glad that you brought it up because like I said, I'm very interested in stuff like that. And like there's actually, it sounds silly, but there's a family on TikTok that the dad does a ton of TikToks talking about his daughter, and she's got I think both sides cochlear implants, and he was talking about that how she can connect them like to Bluetooth. She's got the mute option and things like that, and he was actually joking one day about how like she's like getting to where she's about to be a teenager, and he's like she'll act like she can't hear me sometimes, and he's like I'll think it's because like her battery, she'll say that her battery's dead,
It's true.
And
Sometimes it happens. It
if
happened to
she
me
does if she
too.
just
It's
doesn't
like,
want to listen to if she doesn't want to listen to what her dad's trying to say. So just like but yeah, so
well,
just the
it's
process and things I was really interested in, and having you share that for other people that, like I said, just don't know about it, because I know a little bit, but not a lot of the details.
that's why I'm teaching other people what the deaf
Yeah.
person is, what a deaf life is. So really, back in I think college year,
Hmm.
I've really went through a hard time. I drop
Sure.
out and everything. So college was not my mental level
Hmm.
because my IQ is not intelligent to be one. So I didn't even graduate college.
Neither did I. Neither did I. And
It happened because
you don't strike me as an
I
unintelligent
hope I'm not
person.
the only
I'll
one.
say that. Yeah. No, trust me, you're not. I assure you. I'm sure there's a number of people in the comments that have similar stories, man. And I don't ever equate those two things together with somebody being of low intelligence or whatever. So I certainly wouldn't put yourself down in that way. But I know what you mean. Um, and I'm sure, like, in terms of school, obviously, like you were saying, you had to spend a lot of time on other things, right? Like, while anyone else was learning, whatever, as traditional, school stuff. You had to dedicate time even to just being able to learn to speak yourself, to even communicate. So um, I can understand how that would shift your timeline, right? In terms of just where your focus was at early in life was totally different, and I'm sure even now.
Yeah, it's really hard life through. Not me being a deaf person, especially the
Hmm.
difference of hearing people, because they look at me different. But I
Sure.
always tell them that human is going to be the same as human. The only thing that is different is that you can't hear.
Right.
So we all look alike, color, skin, whatever, you name it. It's just sometimes I feel weird or different from
Hmm.
others because the way how they stare at you. Like, who are you? Do I know you? I'm like,
Yeah.
excuse me, got a problem?
Yeah.
No.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
No, I get that. Yeah, and people are definitely like, people are very curious, but unfortunately, sometimes when
yes,
people are curious, like, I'm sure you would rather them just ask you, like, you know what I mean? Like, just to have a dialogue and just to talk about it. And that's why I was really excited to have you. Part of why, I'm excited to have you on, just because, again, just the education side of things, of explaining to people, like, what a cochlear implant is, or just, like, again, just I love your perspective. I think that's really important in life, just in general, is to have that perspective and have a better understanding of, again, just people that are different from us in some way. Because at the end of the day, you and I are the same. We share the same passion for the same animals, and we're both in this awesome hobby
right.
together. And so clearly we can be that different, right? But we've lived different lives, we've lived different experiences, and most of that, is just that's just, again, like you said, I can hear, and you, for a large part of your life, couldn't, but now you're starting to gain some hearing back and things like that. And I just think that's great, man. I'm like I told you, when you told me you were getting ready to have the surgery, I was super hopeful that it was going to go well, and it sounds like it kind of did. So I'm just excited for you, man. I really, really am.
Yeah, it was really different. Uh,
Yeah.
so let's get into a different subject right now.
Yeah.
So let me tell you about how I get into reptile.
Yes,
Really,
please.
back in 2017, there was a reptile show in Grapevine.
Okay.
You go to Ripicon, Grapevine
Yeah.
Convention. So I went in there. My wife wanted gecko or some animal. I don't remember that time. So I saw a snake. I took a risk because I don't know how the snake react. So I bought my first pastel letter female. That was the
Nice.
first animal. I put him in like a 10-gallon tank.
Yep.
And then, a few months later, I went to see Bill Stiegel, who is owner of Phoenix Reptile.
I'm
He used to
familiar. I
live
know that
in
name.
he used to live in Arlington, but he moved to Flower Mound. So I met him about like I would say 4 or 5 animals at once. I don't remember that time, but I remember I bought like 4 or 5 animals. I didn't even have a rack either. I didn't even have a rack. So I'm like, man. So I ended up buying a rack and then ended up buying the animal. So and then Bill, a few months later, I'm not sure when that happened, Bill offered me a job. So I
Uh-huh.
started working for Phoenix Reptile, start learning more things from him,
Yeah.
start learning how to take care of the animal. The first thing I was doing is just cleaning and changing bedding and changing water, cleaning up the poop, the pee. It was a lot of animals. I'm like, wow, start learning more. And then when you had egg clutch, and then I started learning how to incubate the animals, and I started learning how to cut the egg. It's just a lot of work to become a
Sure.
breeder. So I took a challenge myself that I can do it.
Yeah.
I hate to tell Bill no, I don't want to work, but I want to do it because I wanted to learn. I wanted to be able to successful in a breeder
Yeah.
in a reptile industry. So Bill was starting collecting. He had like a green tree python, the Borneo python. He got some awesome animals that I'd never seen at the show or anywhere.
hmm
So I worked my way up to get more animals, and I was still working for Bill. And then here I am, made it to the middle of a level of a rookie in sophomore year. So I still have a lot to learn.
Yeah. Sure. I think we all do, I think Bill would even probably say that he still has things that he needs to learn. And I'm sure he learns, things every day in terms of just watching these animals grow and observing and trying new things and seeing what works and what maybe works even better that you never thought about trying before.
No,
That's
I
what's
have
really neat
not.
about this. We
No.
we still haven't mastered it all, right? Even if we think we're doing things the right way, there could be something that changes in the next year that we learn that turns things on their head and we start doing them different.
Yes, and I'm already breeding. Last year, I only bred like five parents. So I'm just a rookie, and I was taking a risk to learn because I know I can do it.
Yeah,
Then I started investing more animals, more female in the collection because I wanted to expand my own hat or whatever animal. So I've been trying on like more morph market,
yeah,
but researching the different genetic, the different type of animals. I feel like I'm in the zoo, you know.
yeah,
You just love the animal, and then that's the passion of the hobby. So
yeah,
you just have to learn every day. You have to learn your own time. I mean, nothing's going to be easy.
right.
I mean, it's a challenge for me, and I took it. And my wife also helped me out. She's involved in this industry. We always talk a lot about what to invest for the future. So it's just, we both kind of the opposite, but I took the challenge.
Yeah,
I'll
man.
be reading people
Yeah,
comments.
no, you're
So
fine. That's why I'm letting you pause to read if you want. That's totally cool. Yeah, there's a lot of good
So
stuff going on in the comments.
I'm not that famous yet. Yeah.
Nah, give it a little, give it a little. You're already more popular than me, that's for sure.
I try my best just to be yourself. Just to be yourself, man. I'm
That's
telling
it, man.
you. I always tell people, be yourself. Don't worry about other people. Because that's what my wife and my family always tell me. Is
Hmm.
that sometimes I have a bad habit is to be a follower. When you
Sure.
hit the follower, you get the mistake. You get in trouble. You get everything wrong. And that's what I did with the follower. But when I started growing up, I became a leader. You have to be
Yeah.
yourself.
No, I completely agree, man. And I think it takes a lot of people a long time to kind of realize that. And oftentimes I think people are following and not even realizing that they're doing it. They're and especially like this hobby is a really great example. It's really easy to just getting back to what we were talking about. It's easy to fall in line with just doing everything the same way that everybody has always done it, or the same way that somebody tells you, or whatever, and not thinking logically about what your animal is actually showing you. Because again, you have to listen to those to the animals, at the end of the day, and everyone's animals are going to be a little bit different. And I think that's a really important point, that I love that I keep hearing more and more people talking about, that it's not always, like when people have questions like, why is my animal doing this? Why isn't it eating? Or why isn't it, whatever? The
People,
answer is always going to be different, right?
right, and that's why I always ask food breeder, not all, but few, the people that I know of, but I always ask Bill. Always
Sure.
ask him because he's been through a lot, like other breeder. But the only thing that I have issue was that the hard part was to feeding them
Yeah.
because some animals not going to eat once a week. Some animals
Right.
not going to eat every 2 months. They're going to stop eating for like a year, and you really
Yeah.
wanted to let them grow and grow, and it's so hard. I feel like I'm racing rat, but
Yes.
I'm okay because I have other animals I can feed, so I'm not
Right.
racing rat.
And that's another thing, right? Like just learning those little ways that you can tweak, whether it's tweaking the numbers of animals. Do you feed frozen thawed?
I'm sorry. No,
Do you feed?
I feed lives. I
Okay,
don't
you
do
feed live. Yeah.
frozen thawed because one time I did that. The heat lamp? I stick
Hmm.
the rat in there and I actually cut the rat. So it would smell bad. So I'm not
Oh
gonna do
yeah.
that again. I'm not. I'm not gonna do that. So it's just a bad experience for me. So
Sure.
I like to feed them
Well.
live because
Hmm.
some live rat have more fat inside in their body. So you just never know what kind of rat you get to feed an
Right.
animal. They're
Sure.
very rat.
Yeah. Do you breed your own, or do you have a supplier for your rats?
I'm sorry?
Do you breed your own rats?
No, I don't breed my own rat. I ain't got no time. I
Me either.
don't. No, I feed them all live once a week or every 2 weeks. It's just so like the way how the frozen thought was. So it's like keep in mind that it will happen in the future.
Sure.
You never know.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Like I said, I was more so just curious. But yeah, like I was just gonna say, like for me, I know I wasted a lot of rodents early on
Exactly,
because
you waste a lot of money too,
yeah,
and
because once it's thawed, I can't refreeze it. At least with a live rat, like okay, well I'll just throw it in a bin, and either another snake I have will eat it, or I'll feed it for a week and
maybe
something
you
else will
can
eat
eat
next
it.
week.
Maybe you can eat it.
I
Alright, okay, man.
don't know
Okay.
about that, but let's see what we got got going on? Oh, okay, just asking about Texas shows. I don't know when the next time I'll be able to make a trip to a show is personally.
Well,
I
I think you host show.
The Herp show.
Yes.
Yeah, I have heard of that, but I don't know
I
when
think
the next dates and stuff are.
next weekend is Conroe show. It's by Houston,
That's right.
Texas.
That's
I'm
right.
thinking about going, but I don't know. I just have to see what the schedule is. I do want to go back to NARBC in February, but
Hmm.
they canceled it.
Right.
They also canceled through Lone Star in Arlington show. The
Okay.
Lone Star show, Expo is really small shows in Arlington. They did cancel the spring show. So well, there's nothing I can do. So
Yeah. Yeah.
so
I'm not sure what the next show I'll be able to go to. Go ahead.
NARBC will be back in April 24th and April 25th. So that's my birthday month. So
Okay.
we'll see what happens down that way.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I'm hoping to I'm definitely hoping to make it back out there again this year. But like you said, we'll just have to see, what my work
Yeah.
schedule looks like by then and what's going on with COVID and everything else, all this craziness, man. It's hard to plan anything. I can't plan something for next week, let alone, for 3 months from now or 2 months from now. It's tough.
The first show that I ever went out of state was Tinley.
Oh, wow.
Tinley was the best. I
Yeah.
won't forget. Tinley is something I never did. It's more challenge experience for me to go out there because Tinley was fun. I mean, you meet a lot of people from
Right.
left to right, top and bottom. It was like, it's crazy. So I enjoyed that show. The Tinley was huge. I mean, huge. I wanted to go to Panoma show in
Yeah.
Anaheim. I
Yeah.
think they're supposed to have it this month. I think they canceled it this year. I don't know. So
I think they did. Yeah.
I think they did. So
Yeah. I think I heard about that not that long ago that one got canceled, and I don't even think they said if they're going to be able to do it later this year. I think everybody's just real hesitant to commit to any new dates.
the only thing that I don't like going to the show is that you gotta wear a mask. I hate it.
Yeah. I
Especially me, how I'm gonna communicate with people.
Yes.
I'm always just say forget it and let go. So really,
Yeah. It's tough.
it's tough for me.
Right, and
But
that's what I mean. I can't imagine.
I couldn't either because I want to communicate with other breeders. And I want to be able to learn from them, especially with the new project, the new future project. I need to learn that,
Yeah.
you know.
So, how has this, I mean, has this all, I assume obviously it's probably affected, kind of even your everyday life, right? Because obviously everybody's wearing masks all over the place. I mean, I don't know
Yes.
how it is in Texas necessarily, but I'm like South Carolina here, it's a little bit, they're supposed to wear masks, but most people aren't.
Well,
I'm,
some states are
yeah,
different. And
right.
Texas is always strict, strict
Sure.
in these laws. Man, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm not a happy person to go and wear a mask. I'm not gonna enjoy the show. I'm not.
Sure.
The reason why I went to NARBC with the mask because I live closer, and I'm always gonna be at NARBC in Arlington because
Sure.
it's a good show, and I know everyone, almost the whole people that I met or haven't met. So it's just the opportunity to take the chance before they shut it down,
Yeah.
or cancel it.
Yeah, I mean that, if I and that was exactly why I I made a point to go out there myself, because I didn't know when the next NARBC show was going to be. And same thing, I've been looking forward to trying to go to an NARBC show for years now. And I just hadn't made the time. When I was bartending, I worked every weekend, and I couldn't afford to just not work for a weekend. So I didn't have the option. So once I got the opportunity, I was like, I wasn't going to miss it. And thankfully I made it, because obviously I met
It was a
you, I met
chance. You had
Paco.
the
Yeah,
opportunity
yeah,
about a year and a
exactly.
half ago. It was a lucky opportunity because when I heard that they canceled Tinley like 2 or 3 times, and
Yeah,
I'm like, wow, what other fun can we have to be around people or socialize with people to enjoy their weekend? Because that's the chance when you're gonna have a day off from work
yeah,
or a
yeah. And that
day
was it,
off
man.
from families or whatever you do.
Yeah,
You never know. It's just a
yeah.
hard
Because I
challenge.
because I almost didn't go. Because it was very last minute, and I wasn't working. And so I'm like, it's a lot of money to spend to fly out just for the weekend, but it was worth every penny. Alyssa's laughing down in the comments, because yeah,
Hey,
she was
people
the one.
are
She like
trying to make
twist.
fun of everybody else. But St.
Yeah,
Louis show,
she twisted my arm into going to the Arlington show. Just yeah,
at
again,
least
just
forethought of Reptile said you spend all your money to come down to Texas. that's
yeah, yeah, pretty
probably
much.
that's probably why you can't get the animals.
Well, that's why she's laughing, because so there was an animal that came up for sale, that I was looking at this earlier this week, and it was pretty expensive, and I didn't, but I didn't know the breeder. It's a breeder in Georgia, and I wasn't familiar with him, but I figured that I think I saw like Alyssa and him were friends on Facebook. So I texted
Huh?
her. I was like, "Hey, do you know this guy? Is he a good breeder? Like, can I trust him? Because the animal is a het, and with hets, you have to, I'm
Proof
always
of that.
nervous about buying hets, yeah, to make sure that it's real." And yeah, so she was like, "Oh yeah," she's like, "I know him." She's like, "Are you trying to buy something from him? You should totally do that." And so I told her what the animal was, and and I ended up not buying the animal that I told her about. I made the mistake of, I mentioned to her that there was another animal he had that was actually twice the price. It was twice as expensive, but it was a lot more genes. And yeah, she convinced me that it was a good idea to buy the animal that was twice as expensive. So I
Well,
spent uh, I, I
the
spent a good bit of money this
more
week.
to me, the more you spend on the money on the investment, you're gonna think that you're gonna get some back.
Sure. And that was, what
In
it
the
came down to.
in any clutches, either you keep it or sell it or use it for other project because you're gonna get something back.
Yeah. Yeah. The biggest thing was with this animal, they were both, so I'll tell everybody here, because I don't really keep any secrets anyways. And I'm going to do a video on it later. But the animal that I was originally looking at, it was a Krypton het ultramal. So it was basically a triple het. So it was a het cryptic, het clown, het ultramal. Which we know Krypton is the allelic visual that you get with the het cryptic and het clown. So really, it was a beautiful animal, and it's a female, and I was looking at that, and it was great animal. And the animal I ended up getting that was twice as expensive is actually a Mojave leopard Krypton het ultramal. So it's a visual Mojave, visual leopard. It's het cryptic, het clown, het ultramal. And the thing was, yeah, it was twice as much money, but it has two extra genes in there that I want in my ultramal project. So to make those myself, it would have added like 6 more years to the project. So for the extra money, it saved me 6 years of time.
Right, right, right.
So
So,
it makes sense.
When I went to Tinley that time, I did buy the animals. It was like four times the price I thought it would be. You
Yeah.
already know. I bought it from Tom,
Mm-hmm.
and Lisa would try to didn't want to tell me the secret, but at the time I didn't want to tell her the secret because I wanted to challenge other people because I wanted to be my own person. So when I challenge myself and I know that I can do better than that. So when you breed double head or triple head, it's gonna take you like 6, 7, 8 year project to get a visual.
So the thing about that's what I like about the Kryptons. So with Kryptons, I because of the way it interacts with clowns. So the male that I have for that animal, and this is just this project. You're absolutely right. Normally with like a triple het, it takes so long. In this case, I've already got a visual clown male to breed to that snake. So the first year that I breed, so in 3 years, when that, roughly between 2 and 3 years, when that female breeds for me the first year, I can make visual clowns. I can make visual kryptons. That's guaranteed.
Right,
Every
right,
combination that I get will have either kryptons or clowns, and then I've got a 50% shot at ultra males in there,
right.
and then everything else will be pos het. So that's why I'm excited about the Krypton project.
I'm not a. Where am I? I don't know much about Krypton or
Sure.
Cryptic. I'm still learning about him.
Yep.
I haven't purchased the animal from anyone yet.
Yeah.
So when I watch JKR Justin Kobaka video,
Mm-hmm.
he made some and showed on the video.
Yep.
It made me think that it looked like a normal, the normal
Okay.
ball python.
Mm-hmm.
But the only thing that was hard about it was the pattern, was the line between the eyes or on the eyes, or the head stamp,
Mm-hmm.
because you're gonna have a varied animal that's gonna breed to Crypticon or Cryptic. I don't even know what the hell it is until I research it. So
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of that. I'm sorry, but who
You
knows? I
will
might
be.
work with it because that's part of investment.
Right. Yeah.
So
Like I said, and
I'm
and and
I'm
I
still
get that.
debating about it. I'm still
Right.
debating
There's a
about it,
lot of people. Yeah.
and I
There's a
learned a
lot of
lot.
people that feel the same way.
So I did bought some animal from 2020. I bought I would say probably about 6 animals in 2020 budget for the future.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm trying not to say it, but it's going to be breeding this year, this fall. So hopefully it'll be cool. Go from there. It's a bit challenge. I wish I can say it, but
Yeah.
I'm more challenge myself who I am, so everyone can know that they do they challenge me or whatever. I don't really care. So I am working hard enough to get to the next level.
Sure.
Once I hit the next level, and I know what to do quick, not quick, because basically I'll have to ask anyone how to breed a ball python. I'll have to ask anyone what genetic, unless you play too much combo,
Sure.
because you're gonna have a different pattern, especially with the fire flame with yellow belly. Then they smooth out through the belly. It's gonna be
Mm-hmm.
hard. So that one was a challenge to figure out. My first year project was think it was I think it was pastel banana inchi, maybe yellow buddy in it because it had the orange flames in it.
Got you.
So that's gonna be a big project for 2022. I almost say 2021, but it's 2022. So all these right here are my holdback. And mostly are already going through a sub-adult.
Okay.
So on this side is all my breeder female. There were almost 15 female breeding this year out of 17. So I took a challenge at that.
Yeah, that's a lot of
year,
females.
next year I'm gonna have about 60 female to breed.
Holy cow.
So I'm gonna take another level, work my way up to the head, and keep a lot of head female. If it's extra, it depends who purchased the animal. I have to get there. I have to get there because you're gonna be battle with other people. Like I always
Yeah,
said, it's gonna be a challenge. So I know you work with Ultramore. I don't know anything about Ultramore. All I see is orange and yellow and almost the same as Monarch, but it's a two different lines like butter and
sure.
leche.
Sure.
It's like Mojave and Rusco.
Yeah.
You never know what line. It's like someone told me Hurricane, Trick, and Blitz, and Confusion, and Acid. I don't even know.
A stranger in mahogany. Yeah.
Don't start that. I'm already heard about that part. Don't start that
No,
because
yeah,
I do have a
I don't.
mahogany female, but every time I look at her and like, is that stranger too? I'm
Yeah,
like,
you know,
no,
I've
you
got some
can't be
tricks,
selling me a
so
stranger. It's possible to sell that price.
yeah, right. Yeah, no,
You know,
that'd be
stranger
like me
like,
selling my tricks as hurricanes all of a sudden. If you guys see me selling hurricanes, just know that there's something wrong.
well,
There's I definitely don't have
well,
any hurricane. I've just got tricked.
this year gonna be a 2021 great season. And I hope I
Yeah.
get a very good odd. So this year I'm already breeding a scaleless head. I
Okay.
want to get into a super scaleless. I want to do my own scaleless because I wanted to do different gene. I'm already pairing up right now. It's already locked. So when someone did a attending, I think it was Daniel Allison.
Hmm.
What
He
that?
lives in he's in Gastonia, North Carolina. He's not far from me. He's probably like 45 minutes from me.
Yeah. I wanted to
Yeah.
go down there. I want to go down there. I want to go there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would love to go check out his facility. I keep meaning to kind of reach out to him. I know he's super busy, so I try not to bug people too much. But one days I'll try to go visit his spot.
Well, when time comes, we will be there.
Sure.
Um, with the scale, it's totally different. It reminds me of micro scale,
Hmm.
but they
I
look
like
the
the micro
same.
scale.
But they look
Right.
the
No, they're very
same.
different. Yeah.
But I just don't even know. So I wanted to challenge to compare my own snake to
Yeah.
others and see what comes out.
Sure.
So that was the challenge. I do have a lot of few rejected female I'm keeping this year that I purchased from. So if anyone has questions, let me know. Drop the comments or anything.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
that's what I was gonna say. We're coming up on an hour. If anybody's got questions for Jose as far as anything specific that you want to know about, about really anything, I think he's pretty well an open book.
don't be
What?
afraid.
So yeah.
Don't be afraid. I'm not gonna
As
bite.
long unless it's a secret, he is actually really good at keeping his secrets under wraps. So one thing I do want to ask about, just to clarify. So last year your first year producing your own babies?
What that?
Was last year the first year that you produced babies?
Yes. Last year
Okay.
was the first breeding project. Like I said, I did five breeding project.
Okay.
It was a little simple combo
Hmm.
to keep a lot of female for the future. I made my own hat.
Yeah,
She said
show
no
us a snake
joke
of some sort.
about what? No joke about what?
I'm guessing probably about you keeping your secrets.
I'm not gonna say
And
anything.
and Ethan,
Yeah, she
looks
said
like
you
Ethan's
already
asking
know. She said already know. I mean,
I think she does. She's just trying to get you to tell.
she's trying to get me
Do
fired.
you have any
She's trying to get me
do you have
fired.
any animals that you want to show off?
I'm sorry.
Or do you have any animals that you want to show off? Do you have any babies for sale that maybe you want to show or anything
I
like
do
that?
have 2 baby for sale.
Can we see them?
I'll pull it up.
Sure. Craig, is that the current snake room or the new
I
current snake room?
think
I
I
don't know
think
what
I
the
post
status is on y'all snake room right now. Is the build out done down there?
the what?
Sorry, I was asking. I was talking to
Okay.
I was reading Craig and Alyssa's
Mhm.
comments from earlier. I was asking them how their snake room's going down there.
This is my first clutch that I hatch. This is a Mojave female. She
Okay,
is for sale. Then I hit the big project. I produced my own, and I made a VPI Danzig snow. And I'm sure you
oh
already
wow,
know albino, VPI, and Danzig.
yeah,
So I made it. He is for sale. First,
and that's a female.
I thought it was a female. No, it's a male. He
Okay,
is for sale.
still though, but that's a double recessive. I mean, that's a good male to have for for somebody that's
Well,
working that project.
I I am hoping to get more female this year.
that that sounds about right. I
I
guess
am.
it must have escaped his pants. I know he
I'm eating
usually
that
has
right now.
a rat or a hamster in his pants somewhere.
He is for sale. If anyone interested, let me know. I'm already breeding the same project. I'm hoping for more female. I'm
Sure.
hoping for more female. The hypo project is kind of like fly out because they were deformed and now it's out.
That's right. I forgot we talked
And
about that. Yeah. You had an issue with your incubator, we think.
well, it's not the incubator. The incubator I checked was fine.
Hmm.
So here's these 2 for sale. I'm gonna show you a yellow buddy project that I did. I think it was nice. I never seen
Yeah.
it.
Alyssa, I hope that I hope you find the hamster before y'all's dog does, based on his track record for tearing stuff up. Although I saw your goats, I guess, were doing some damage of their own. What's up, Elliot? Good to see you, brother. I appreciate you being here, man.
Okay. This is I don't know. I don't know if it's yellow buddy in there, but look at the pattern.
I
It's
mean, it's super
faded.
freaking bright. What was
Exactly.
the pairing?
It was mm, banana and she pastel to yellow buddy.
Hmm.
So this is a female. I'm keeping her. I'm keeping her because I wanted to prove out if it's yellow buddy. Because
Yeah.
you can see a flame right here that might have yellow buddy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same
And from that pairing, I mean that looks yellow belly to me,
same
but yeah.
same with this one. This might have 4 gene.
Hmm.
A
So this is
banana
the one you
pat
were talking about earlier. That was the that you think is banana pastel inchy yellow belly maybe.
yes. This one has I can see the flame coming out of there a little bit,
Mm-hmm. There you go.
but the head stamp is different.
Yeah, and
So
that with obviously if it's got past the there
okay,
you go. Yeah, yeah.
so it's the male. I'm gonna prove it out this year, hopefully.
Hmm. Very cool.
So
Yeah, and like I said, I think we kind of circled back to that point that we were talking about earlier on, kind of at the start with just kind of your approach to your projects. And I really like what you were saying in terms of you want to challenge yourself to start out slow with simple combinations so that
yeah,
you can really familiarize yourself with all of the genetics that you're working with, and you can breed those lines through so that as you're producing stuff, you're you're hopefully going to have to ask less questions and ask for less help from other people to be able to identify stuff. And I just, like I said, I respect that a lot, man, because I think that's something that a lot of us don't do anymore, myself included. I kind of skipped ahead a little bit and bought some multi-gene animals and things like that, that I know for a fact that I'm not going to be able to identify those babies. I'm going to have to get some help for sure.
yeah, that's not the hard part to identify the baby,
Yeah,
especially myself. The way
sure.
how I pair up, you know, especially depending on the genetic that you pair up, it's hard to get like 5, 6, 7, 8 combo. It's just so
Yeah,
hard to figure out.
sure.
I mean,
Yeah,
some other people can do it quick, and I'm like, what the heck?
yeah.
So it's just
I
hard.
think it just, yeah, I think it just takes time and time and just looking at a ton of animals. Hey Sal, no worries, man. I know you had a live earlier with I think with Billy and Wilma Rose, and I'm sure you had a couple other things in between, man. So no, you're totally fine, man. I appreciate you being here, dude. That's Sal from House of Gaia Pythons. He's a good guy up in Canada.
Oh yeah. I want to go to Canada. I do. I want to go to Canada. Let's
Me
go.
too, man. I definitely do. Absolutely. When they open the
I
borders
mean,
back up, man, I really,
you know,
really, really would love to go up there this year.
I wanted to go up there to see Billy Road facility. I mean, his collection was awesome. It's something
Yeah,
that I've never seen in the collection, like a different variety of thousands of animals. So I want to get a chance to go up there down in the future. Right now, you
yeah,
can't
for
go
sure.
across the border because of all the
Yeah,
COVID and stuff.
yeah. Yeah, I know they're like going back into lockdown and everything else. Yeah, I know Billy mentioned it before. He's going to try to do like another contest, I think, like that video contest that he did before to have somebody get a spot or a chance to fly up there. Appreciate you being here, Sal. Seriously. Um, yeah, that's really exciting, man. And I love everything that Billy's got going on. He's really doing a lot in terms of just the community and his podcast and everything else. It's really exciting. Um, he gives a lot back. Does a lot to help us out as far as a small guys, right?
Well, I'm not the only one in this project. My wife is also involved with me, so she
Yeah,
helped me out. We both work together, help each other on this project to learn each other. Sometimes I just want to do it myself as a challenge, but I
yeah.
need to have my wife help me out because maybe she knows more than I do, and I don't because
And sometimes it's
I have a
perspective
hearing
too.
problem too. I'm
Hmm.
having a hard time to hear other people. So
Sure.
it's just I'm lucky to have her help me out in this hobby and this business also at the same time. So I just feel lucky.
For sure. For
So
sure. I know you were saying that earlier on that, just how much you appreciate, having her help with everything. And I just think that's great, man.
you're going to go to the show in Florida. What's that called? That comes up in August in Florida.
By August, I would hope that I would be able to. Like I said, right now it's so hard to plan anything just because of my work. I'm still new at this job, so like I don't have vacation time yet, and I am still technically in training.
Okay.
And I don't know when I'll be done being trained. It's a weird industry the way that this company kind of does things. So yeah, I don't know exactly when I'll be able to like make travel plans and stuff. And then obviously with COVID, it's hard to plan for anything because we don't really know when they're gonna lock us back down again either. But
Have you been to Tinley?
I haven't been to Tenley.
You need to go.
I know,
Go.
man. Trust me. Yeah, that's
Go.
so the one trip that I do know that I'm gonna make for sure that I am not going to give up on is I do definitely want to make it to Carpet Fest, um, which is gonna, as far as I know, I think it's gonna be at Brian Cusco's house. I could be wrong about that. Um, so, and that's not really a show. That's just kind of a meeting. But I just really want to go to that because I know there's going to be a lot of my friends or will be there, and I just wanted to meet some of those people in person that I haven't had a chance
When is
to.
the Coffee Fest?
I don't remember exactly. I want to say it might be in April, but I could be wrong. I'll as soon as I find out the specifics, Jose, I'll let you know. I'll shoot you a message when I find out
Um,
later on.
I will be breeding carpet in this year. I'll be breeding
Okay.
carpet. I purchased the animal from Bill. It's a female carpet with a super jaguar carpet python.
Okay.
So she will be breeding this in this year.
That's awesome.
So I'm hoping you get a good clutch because it's the
Yeah, I think
first
I
time
remember.
breeding her in this area. So
Yeah,
she bred
that's
before
awesome.
with Bill. So I don't know how many I might get this year. Hoping
Sure.
more female than male.
Yeah, that's what we can hope. We all
Always.
hope for. Yeah, yeah. I think I saw a video you had posted maybe to Facebook of you getting her out of her enclosure. Was that at your house?
Which one?
I think it was a video of you with a carpet python. I thought it was a decent sized cage.
I don't remember.
Maybe not. I don't know. I think it was an older video. Either way, no big deal. I just figured I'd
I
ask.
think I probably did. I don't remember. I post a lot of things, so it's hard for
It's
me to
all good.
remember everything. So
No worries, dude. That's all good. Well, hey man, I think we're gonna wrap this thing up, man. I think we've been going for about an hour. Unless anybody's got any last minute questions that you want to drop down in the comments really quick for Jose, I think we pretty well covered. I think most of what we talked about, at least, right? Like before we started, I know we wanted to talk. You want to talk about ball python. I mean, you tell me. Was there anything that we missed that you didn't get to that you wanted to cover?
um, not that I know of, but if you have any questions, say it. If you have any questions, ask me, man.
Yeah, we'll give
I'm not
everybody
gonna
a couple
bite you
minutes,
through
and
the
then
phone.
now in person, that's a different story. He might.
Well, if anyone had a question,
Awesome.
let me know. Drop the comment for the next 10, 15, 20 minutes, and then we'll see what's up.
Yeah. Like I said, I didn't see anything patriotic morphs in the house. What's up, guys? How are y'all? Turtles. I like turtles, Bradley. Freaking love turtles. I feel like every one of my streams at some point turtles have come up, whether it's been in the comments or it's been talking about them with whoever I've had on. Let's see what
Ethan,
else I missed.
Ethan Reptile, what's up, buddy? How you doing? I'm gonna put this animal up.
Yeah, you're good, man. Do your thing. Jeremy. Mindy is going live tomorrow. That's right, Mindy. I totally forgot that you said you were going to do that.
Thanks,
You said
Clayton.
11 a.m. Thanks, Clayton. We appreciate you being here, man. Thank you so much.
Show off some snake. Well, what kind of snake you want me to show off?
Show off
You
some of
gotta
your
tell
secret
me.
stuff, man.
I know you, Clayton. I know you gotta say something. Maybe
No, Mindy,
ruin
you're
my
good. I'm excited
project. Nah. Okay.
to. I'm excited to see what you got, Mindy, for sure. All right, man.
Probably
Well,
gonna
I think.
try to ruin my secret.
Yeah. Let's whatever you guys want to see. Yeah, I mean, we
Alright.
showed off the two babies that you had for sale, Jose. Do you want to show off any of your breeding females or anything you're excited about
Um,
having to go this year?
I'm gonna do it over there.
Yeah, sure.
Let me
No
try to
worries.
see if I can flip this out. I don't think the camera gonna flip it out. So well, I'm already breeding the bamboo project. The
I
bamboo
like the
project.
bamboo stuff a lot.
I'm also breeding more blue-eyed Lucy.
Okay.
I wanna keep more female. Um, let's see. I do have gonna have a lot of visual pied and banana pied. I think that was the best project. The next season, I'm gonna have a lot of female maker. So
Bananas. Okay.
it's gonna be a lot of 2023 project. I don't see much champagne project, and I don't know anyone work with it. So I'm
Yeah,
already breeding champagne to normals. Hopefully, get more normal female. Maybe champagne female for the future.
sure.
I'm already producing a double head. It's a hypo clone. It could be double
Okay.
head. No visual yet.
Yeah, but that's a great double recessive project.
And I'm also gonna do a lot of G stripe project from the start.
Mm-hmm. G
I
stripe's
think
getting
G
more and more
stripe is
popular.
it's nice, and I think someone made on Dream G stripe. That was nice. I mean, I like that color. And
Craig. What rack is that, Jose?
I'm sorry.
What rack is that that's behind you? What rack
I'm
system is
using
that?
the old Freedom Breeder 70.
Okay. Yeah, I
That
was
was
gonna say
like
I don't
that was
recognize that.
back
I've
in
never
like
seen
in
one before.
'90s. That was
Yeah.
back in like in '90s or 90 or something. '90s.
Hey man, that's quality at last. It's still working.
At least to work, I gotta use it. I have to use
Yeah.
something.
No, that's awesome.
So I got this from someone else who was a breeder. So I came out get one because I know I'm gonna get a lot of big female. So I
Sure.
had to do something quick.
Yeah. No, that's actually I think that's really cool, man. If I could find somebody selling an old school freedom breeder or something like that, I would be all over it. I'd almost rather have that than one of the new ones just because I like old stuff. I think that's neat. Especially when you think about how many females must have probably laid eggs in that rack, even before you had it, right? Like it's got history.
The gene of blue-eyed Lucy was either Mojave or Lecha. Either one.
Okay. You had both in the pairing.
No, Craig. I'm not showing you a breeding chart. No, thank you. You know that. He always come out and say something.
Bradley champagnes look like turtles.
Ethan, the party's still breeding right now, so I'm hoping to get more female regular pied, or maybe I'm lucky to have more banana pied.
I
Either
like the
one.
banana stuff. I like the banana pods. They're pretty. And
Banana.
they're great pets. I think those are just awesome pet snakes. Still a little bit expensive, but reasonably
Um,
priced for somebody that wants them as a pet or as a breeder.
I invested the desert ghost female. I
Okay.
love desert ghost. I mean, desert ghost was recessive gene. Desert ghost took another level, especially with the double head. Uh, there's another female, actually a male, and you probably already know about this project. I just invested that one.
Hmm.
I'm not gonna say it because I know someone out there gonna ruin my future. But Lisa and Craig, they know my secret.
Yeah, I'm
So,
excited for you, man.
I'm hoping to do more of this project. Is this is the black pastel pod.
Nice. I like the black pastel stuff.
I'm hoping to. Okay,
There you go, right there.
this is a high white.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I'm hoping to do more of this
Hmm.
because this is really the big game in the past few years. So I haven't seen anyone breed more besides Justin Quebecer.
Right. I keep looking for my water. I don't know where I put my water at. Sorry. For anybody that's wondering why I keep moving around. Oh, there it is.
Craig know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they're still just trying to get you to slip up, man. All right, Jose. Well, like I said, man, I think it looks like I don't. Like I said, I'll give everybody just literally like another couple of minutes to get any questions in. But I've got to work in the morning, and I'm sure you've got a lot of stuff going on. I still got to clean some snakes and stuff before bed, but we'll give everybody a couple minutes.
Well, I have Retic Python.
Oh, you do?
Yes. He's in shed right now. I'm not gonna take it out.
No, that's fine. I wouldn't ask you to.
That was my first Retic male that I ever purchased. Was small. It was like a baby.
Yeah,
And I kept feeding it, feeding it, growing. I'm like, I didn't know it's gonna be like 20, 10, 15 feet.
yeah.
So
How big is he now?
he's still like an average of 8, 9 feet right now.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, that's about how big that girl is behind me.
well, I put him in this one because he won't go into the bigger display. He won't eat.
Yeah, that happens.
So I have to keep him there tight like a ball python for now until the process will work way up.
Yeah, some of the and I mean I had my male in a 70 series for a while. I mean it wasn't an issue. He wasn't quite that big. He was like 6 feet, but I mean even this girl was in an FB 70 not that long ago, and I mean she was perfectly fine and content to be in there. So I mean it's not like it's an issue, especially if they won't eat when they go up to a bigger size. So that's I don't think that's a problem. That's like Taurus. I don't know what's going on with this turtle talk. I'm gonna
You,
have to go back to the comments.
you already know this part. I'll pull it out.
Hey Joe.
Can you tell me if this is hurricane trick or blitz?
No.
That's why I told you. Because
No, absolutely not.
I purchased this animal. To be honest, it's a hurricane.
Okay.
Um,
I was gonna say because I'll tell you, it doesn't look like my tricks to me.
no. The only thing I like about hurricane was this, the body pattern.
All right, so I'll show you. Let's do this really quick, just because we can. Whew, not that one. Stay in there. It's not time to eat. Mindy, this is actually your snake. I guess your snake. You haven't bought it yet, but I know you want it. Was trying to escape. So this is a baby trick.
Does that look
Baby
like
trick
normal?
belly.
Is that normal?
This is not a normal.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
It's a
So what
very
is that one?
hungry baby trick. So this is a trick. Trick 100% het for ultramel.
Okay. You sure that's 100% optimal?
100% het ultramel. Here you go. Go back in there. Yeah, and this is I'll show you guys this just because it's getting so big. This is its clutch mate.
That's sweet.
And that's a Mojave trick. Het for ultramel. I love this freaking part on its side. crazy chaining. In the back
So
pattern.
is that your first clutch?
Yeah, first clutch.
Okay.
Yeah, and this freaking stripe on the tail. Yeah, plus ultra, Bradley. There you go. You're getting it.
Is that a male or female?
This is a female. This is my holdback for sure.
You gonna sell it to me?
Nope. Not a
I'm
chance.
playing. I
Literally,
know,
as
I'm
soon as
just
I saw
playing.
this thing come out of the egg and I saw this like chaining right here on the neck, I was like, yeah, I
Yeah.
have to keep this.
Oh, okay.
Just cool. Yeah, just a cool female. This is also my best eater, as you can tell how big she got compared to that other one that I had out. She's like 140 grams or something like that already. So she's getting big. She's chubby. She eats every freaking time. She just ate yesterday and she's already ready to eat again.
Ethan Reptile, the Blue Eye Lucy. I'm hoping to have it for sale around in summer. I don't know any clutches yet. It's too early right now. I'm still breeding more project. So I'll let you know.
I don't know if Mindy's still in the chat, but figured I'd show her this really quick because she keeps saying that she wants this baby. This is a Mojave
So,
100% het for ultra male female.
so you had a visual Ultima, right?
Yeah, so the male for this clutch is actually Justin's breeder. Previous breeder is a Mojave ultra male.
Okay.
So this is, like I said, a Mojave 100% het for ultra. Hey, Sandra, thanks for being here.
I'm going to show you something. I think it's really cool.
Sure. There's the male from the sire for that clutch.
Did I look at Mojave Ultima?
Yep, Mojave ultra male. He's a little washed out. This light's a little bit bright with this camera. There we go.
Yeah. Dude, that's the male. That's the male.
Yeah, this is the sire for that clutch. Mom was a a trick. But yeah, this male came from Justin. He was he's Justin's former breeder male. And he's got that really nice stripe as well. That almost connects all the way. But yeah, just a big beautiful boy that will not eat for me right now. So he's not breeding until he eats again. I don't think he knows that, but
Elliot, I am feeding those things. I'll just feed them rats once a week or maybe every 2 weeks, depending how they take it.
stay in there. Yeah, that male, he's not eaten for like, I don't even know. It's been a few weeks now. Let me see if I can find Mom. Yeah, here she is. She just ate, so I'm not gonna mess with her too much, but just to show you guys what a big adult trick looks like. So there's Mom. And you can see she's putting weight back on. Same thing, crazy belly.
Is that a visual?
Yeah, well, it's visual trick.
Oh, okay.
So you can see this kind of just funky pattern, coming off the alien head. And again, just crazy, funky belly. But yeah. Thank you, Sandra. I appreciate you. Yeah, she's doing really, really well. She's always been one of my best eaters since I've had her, and I was really excited that literally like right after she laid, I think she ate within like 2 days of laying her her first clutch. So
Yeah, this
Elliot,
one.
feeding schedule, where are you at? Was that what you were asking about?
I thought he was
Yeah,
asking me or
they're,
you.
believe it or not, they're actually still on rat pinks on pinkies, just because that's what I have. That one is probably going to switch over to pups. But yeah, I've been feeding them rat pinkies, but I do feed like twice a week. I've been feeding them like every 4 days. Um, they're, again, small meals. I think it's fine to feed them twice a week, especially as they're babies, just to kind of keep, get them really going. But yeah, I mean, they're doing great. Like I said, especially that one. I mean, that thing's been eating since it came out of the egg. As soon as it shed, it took its first meal right away, frozen thawed, day one, and it's double the size of the other ones. So. All right, Jose, you got anything else you want to show off last minute before we close out?
Okay, I'm gonna do this right now.
Oh,
I'm not gonna pour the other one out. You already know. I'm not gonna just
Yep.
cut to these guys.
All good,
So
man.
that's a future time. And hopefully I get that one to produce more head,
Sure.
more head in the future. Um, anyway, my question was to you is that when did you start getting into reptile?
So I've been into reptiles since pretty much since like elementary school. Like, I remember my stepsister, who was older than me. She was, I don't remember how many years, like 4 years older than me or something like that.
Huh?
She and I used to like catch like garter snakes and stuff in our backyard and like sneak them into the house. So like I've loved animals for as long as I can remember. My first word was dog. That was the first word that I ever said. So I mean, I've just always loved animals. My dad told me the story when they got their first dog. It was, before I could even talk. I was a baby. I was barely walking, and they got it from like the humane society or whatever. And they had like a panic moment in the parking lot because the dog like jumped on me and knocked me over, and my mom's like, "Oh my gosh," freaked out. And they look, and my dad said it was just hilarious. He said, "I just started giggling, just dying laughing. Like, I fell, and they were thinking I'd be scared or freaked out. I was just giggling my butt off. This little baby." And so yeah, I've just always loved animals, and snakes just were just part of that. I wasn't necessarily drawn to them as reptiles. I just loved all animals. I mean, I literally, we, like a elementary school project that we did, and my mom still has it. We were supposed to make like a book, and you could do it about anything. And I did mine on all the pets that we had. And so at that, I remember we had a pig, we had birds, we had an iguana, we had fish, we
I,
had,
I had bird. I had a macaw.
yeah. Okay, see, I didn't have anything cool like that. We had like finches, like basic stuff. But we had dogs and birds and freaking cats. I mean, we had, you name it, we freaking had it, except for a snake. I was not. I don't even know that I wasn't allowed to have a snake. I don't really remember the discussion. Like, I don't remember ever being told like no, I couldn't have one, but I'm pretty sure I wasn't allowed to have one. Like, I think it was just kind of like an unspoken thing, because I do remember my mom would never let us have snakes in the house. Like I said, we used to sneak them in all the time, and so I'm sure that it was
Well,
talked about, but I don't remember specifically. Like, my mom never drilled it into my head that we weren't allowed to have them. But yeah,
when
I didn't get my first snake until high school.
I got my first snake, I didn't even know nothing. I thought it
Yeah,
was just a cool animal, to be in a small tank.
yeah, that's how I had mine. My
So
first one, I think it was like a 10-gallon, same thing.
when I feed him the first time, I was freaking out because
Yeah,
I don't even know how the rat's gonna react, because it was a scary part. I thought he was gonna jump out in the house or running around the house.
right. I still don't like feeding rats off.
That's why I was doing frozen that time.
Right, right.
And
That's
then
why
I
I
was
still
like,
do frozen.
nah, I'm not gonna wait too long. I gotta get something to
Yeah,
do.
it's a pain, man. It's a lot of freaking work feeding frozen. It sucks.
So yeah, I had a call, which amazing animal. I had her for 3 years. She passed
Oh
away
wow.
about a year and a half ago.
Oh, okay.
The macaw was the only one that actually talked. She would talk to me, but I didn't use
Mm-hmm.
sign language, but I tried, but it won't work. So I did try to communicate the macaw, and
Yeah.
it was just making a weird sound. And it's like screaming outside of the house, and you can hear on the other side. I'm
Yeah.
like, man, I'm wondering where the birds were coming from. But I realized I had a bird inside the bedroom, so
Right.
that was a cool animal that I ever had. Then I
Yeah.
do have a gecko, a leopard gecko. My wife takes care of them.
Okay.
She got the chameleon, CHAM, chameleon, to take care of them. She also have two other gecko. I don't even know what it was. I think it was a quetty gecko.
Okay.
To take care of them. So what I do, I just do snake, mostly snake, mostly snake.
Thank you, Lily. I appreciate it.
Everyone was just trying to add me on Instagram before they go to bed. So
Yeah.
like I just it's
Yeah,
already
and
nine
I'll make
thirty
sure
here.
all your I'll make sure all of your stuff because I didn't know, like we were talking about, I didn't know what links you would want down there in terms of like your personal versus your business, because you've got a business Instagram or Facebook.
I do have a business page um, on Instagram and Facebook.
Okay.
And I
I'll make sure I
will
get those down there in the description.
send you a link to you, and you can just
Yeah.
go from there.
Yeah, I'll put it
I
down there so
did
anybody that
post it
sees this
on
after.
there. I posted on the comment box, and
Yeah.
hopefully someone will follow. Look
Sure.
forward to a role model of who I am, and
Absolutely.
I'm not sure what else to say, but
No, you're good, man. I think we covered it all. This has been a lot of fun. Like I said, I'm really looking forward to seeing what you produce this year and over the next couple years, man. Like I said, your excitement for this hobby,
come back
it
to
is. It's
Texas.
contagious. Yeah,
Come back to
I will.
Texas.
Trust me.
Come back to Texas, man.
Trust me. I'll be there, man. I'll be there, brother. Jose, thank you again, man. I really can't thank you enough for giving me some of your time tonight, and again, just for sharing your story. Like I said, that means a lot to me. That you're just very open. You're an open book. You're willing to talk about anything, and you've definitely given me a different perspective on things, like even just something simple like you telling me earlier about, hey, no, make sure you use that zoomed in view because it helps people that read lips, stuff like that. So I'm gonna make sure that I try to kind of keep that stuff in mind when I go forward, and I thank you for that, man. So like I said, brother, have a great rest of your
Um,
night. Thank you to everybody in the comments for coming and showing some love to me, and especially for Jose. I really do appreciate y'all. I've seen a lot of new names down there tonight, which I'm gonna assume is all because Jose is super famous.
Another thing
What
is
you got, brother, to
that
close us out?
we have some sticker and some t-shirt coming out in summer. Right now, no one's not doing anything because of COVID and
Sure.
some places going on. So we'll make sure that everything will be set in summer. Hopefully, anyone was interested in it.
Absolutely, man.
Just drop me a comment or a text through Instagram, and hopefully see you guys in the future. Hopefully
Absolutely.
meet more people. That's what I want to do, meet. Um, hopefully teach other people sign language because I wanted to be able to help others.
Sure.
Especially you, and you just walk by me at NRBC. You never talked to me once. One time you did that.
Whatever.
Nah, I'm kidding. Nah, I'm
Whatever.
kidding. Nah, I'm kidding, man. I was kidding, man.
No,
But
I appreciate you, brother.
just want to thank you for having me on this show. So looking
No,
forward,
it
maybe
was
fall.
truly my pleasure. Truly my pleasure. And thank you again to everybody in the comments. Sandra, Elliot, Jeremy, Bradley. I'm just kind of Corey, Elliot, all you others. I know there were so many other people in here. Sal, Mindy, just everybody. Thank everybody again for all your support, and I will see you guys next week.